Hey, what's up? I hope you're doing well and welcome back to the channel. I've been seeing a lot of questions floating around about whether we'll be able to use our loot that we've earned or bought for Warzone in Warzone 2 whenever that may release. It's a really valid question that I've been wanting an answer to myself. Thankfully, from a recent interview with a couple of Warzone devs, we can get a bit of an idea of whether we'll be able to or not. But before we jump into it, I just wanted to say congratulations to the legend ShadowKingAsh and Maverik108 for winning the Season 3 Battle Pass giveaway, and cheers to everyone else who entered. Now I'm sure we've all got our own favourite blueprints and operator skins that we want to be able to use in Warzone 2. Personally, I started playing Modern Warfare 2019 on day 1, and since then I've built up a massive collection of skins, blueprints and other loot that I've not only earned in game but also purchased. I'm sure many of you are in the same boat. Like I kind of mentioned earlier in the video, two devs that currently work on Warzone, Josh Bridge and Ted Timmons, were asked the following question during an interview on the Washington Post gaming channel. Will players be able to port over their purchased skins and weapon blueprints in future Call of Duty titles like the rumoured Warzone 2? This is what they had to say.
Yeah, I mean, we're still, working through, like you're mentioning, where everything is going in the future. I think the thing that we've been spending the most time now, as it relates to inventory is kind of touching on what I mentioned a bit earlier, is just how do we make choice feel meaningful? And this has been one of the challenges, right? Like when you look at how many operator skins and calling cards and blueprints, and there's just so much in there. And I think, I keep trying to think, we all keep trying to think of ways, like even right now, what would be the best way to kind of like make that a meaningful choice experience? And not outside of the friction of UX of like, my God, this is painful, literally, like going through hundreds and hundreds of things and trying to find something. So I think it's something that is really new for us because, like, historically, obviously, with Call of Duty, there's been, prior to Warzone, it's been predominantly a game that kind of lives maybe a year or two of like sort of live services, and off we kind of go, we have a next one. And so a lot of this next game thing happens, so that kind of like you have a built-in quote unquote, sort of inventory reset as a result because you're starting over again. So this is the first time we've actually had to face this, right? Like, oh my gosh, we actually have years growing of inventory, and there's technical challenges around it as well. It's not just from a user experience, right? Like the install size has been getting bigger and bigger. And a lot of it, a fair amount of it actually is because of these skins and these cosmetics. So we're trying to figure out, the thing that we're primarily focused on around that is the technology. How do we get more, asynchronous cloud streaming, so that we can kind of like identify what should be and shouldn't be on each player's client. And then a user experience of like, what's, when we kind of release stuff, why? Like, why do I want it? And maybe there's some way that we can kind of think about there's a value to all this that isn't just, I just have a pile of stuff and then it just all looks like noise to me.
Now I'm sure this isn't the first time that we've heard the Warzone devs talking about the technical limitations that having all of this different loot from different games causes Warzone. We need to remember that there's now like 15 different seasons of Battle Pass content, over 150 different weapons with different blueprints for each one, over 90 different operators also with their own different skins, not to mention the calling cards, emblems, stickers and other loot that's built up over the past few years. This completely bloats the file size of the game, and it's just going to build and build. This is already affecting Warzone and the content that they can add moving forward, so if they port all of our loot over to Warzone 2, the problem just doesn't go away. If you've played COD from way back in the day, you'll know that each year when a new Call of Duty was released, it was the norm to not be able to use your loot from previous games. So to me, it's not that unrealistic to think that we won't be able to use our current Warzone skins and blueprints in Warzone 2, especially as there's been rumours of Warzone 2 being a complete next-gen experience and a bit of a reset of Warzone as we know it. Just like in this interview, I expect that for a long time leading up to the launch of Warzone 2, we won't be getting a definite answer to this question, as if they come out and say right now that no loot will transfer over to the next game, then they're basically shooting themselves in the foot and losing revenue from bundles. So will our current Warzone loot transfer over to Warzone 2? To sum things up, as of making this video, we don't have a definite answer to this question, but with what we've heard from the devs working on Warzone, I just don't think it's going to happen. I feel like I tried something a bit different with this video. If you enjoyed it and found some value, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Alright, I'll catch you in the next one. You look after yourself and take it easy.